We are back. Thank you, Daniel, for coming. Thank you for your love and following through this guidance given to you by the Divine Mother, given to you by Father God for the healing, this next step. Daniel has set up what we call the next step of yoga, or the yoga of surrender, and the yoga of accelerated change. I feel Daniel has been blessed by the Lord to give this presentation, to give this teaching. It's unique, it's simple in its beauty. It's non-denominational, it's non-dogmatic. You don't believe in anything. You just do it, and you believe in your experience. I can see this being used in prisons, in places where there is great suffering, where people are trapped in their mind. They're not able to accept any traditional methods, but this method goes beyond in its simplicity, in its beauty, as a doorway into freedom, freedom of the mind. Without any other comments, I give the mic over to beloved Daniel Christian.
You hear me okay? Good? Mic is good?
Your mic needs to be, push it a little bit closer.
Good?
Perfect.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Dennis. This is such a wonderful place, I'll tell you. Love the meditation. Sound check, I'm okay?
Sounds good. I'm just making some minor adjustments.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, when Dennis and I had planned on doing this presentation seems like a long time ago, before the coronavirus, and we had planned on having someone else come in, and he would be kind of worked on or supported in having the experience. What we are trying to accomplish, what I'm really wanting to see here, if possible, is to try to convey an experience for you, or at least guide you down a path where you can, after you've seen this video, maybe you later on tonight or even during the video itself, I want to try to do everything I can to enable you to have your own experience, because words are just words. You know, I really want, we know something when we've experienced it in our heart, in our knowing. And so I'm going to ask if you could turn on that, visceral knowing within yourself. We've all had experiences where we know something and you get it. You know, you can just feel it in your body and you trust it. You know, whenever you get it that way, there's no, well, am I right or am I wrong? You feel it. You got it. And that's what I'm hoping to be able to convey on that level to you. So, we don't have a person. I have no idea who I'm talking to. You know, I can't see on the other side of the camera, so I'm just going to do my best and hopefully not miss anybody. I want to be able to deliver it to as many people as possible. Okay. How do we start? This is very simple. Like Dennis said, it's very simple. It's very effective. I have to say that. I've been involved in this for 2 years with the practice, and in the last year especially, I've really embraced it. Might say this, that my experience with this practice is coming from suffering, a lot of suffering and pain. Dennis's experience will be something else. He hasn't been down the road that I have with the suffering and the pain. Your experience is your own unique experience, but it's valuable just to have this as a tool in your kit. And it, as we've said, it dovetails right in to anything else, any other practice, at least that I'm aware of. I remember Suresh was here talking about, just be in the book, and Dennis and I were saying, it really kind of dovetails right into that, at the time when he was giving the presentation. So it doesn't interfere with anything that you're already doing. It should make it even better, because what we're doing here, well, first of all, we're not doing it. There's a catch. There's a catch. We're not doing it. Our mind is, this is a no-mind zone. So you get to have what you want. You get to have the release of the suffering. You get to have a really impactful release of that which would suck your energy out of you, just drain you, stress and worry and anxiety and grief. There's no anything, anything that is troubling, and more. Dennis will be taking it to different places. But this could be used for some really rough circumstances, really, really rough circumstances. So this is essentially really, it's really simple in that it's just what the body does already. So we're just going to amplify that. Whenever we are in extreme emotional pain, the emotional body can just take over and direct the physical body into doing things which bring relief. And we are putting our focus on two of those things, a physical position and a physical movement that the body naturally does in high anxiety. And we adopt that and practice it. And then you don't have to be, you can be way in horrible pain, or you can be in far less and just practice the same thing, and it's effective. Okay, so we talk about surrender, all that the surrender really means. I kind of made an attempt to deliver this to my neighbor recently, and he was like, what do you mean surrender? Okay, surrender for this application means that you don't try to fix it. Once you get in touch with whatever's bothering you, your pain, your hurt, and you go into this practice, you don't allow your mind to try to fix it for you. You just surrender. Okay, so this might be a good time for me to try and convey that with a video that Dennis has that we just pulled off the internet, and it's a woman in sorrow. She may be acting, don't know, but it points in a direction. It just points in a direction that I think it's good to see this, to be able to sort of get the idea of this is what we're going to emulate, a place that I want to say we've all been. I don't know who I'm talking to, but a lot of us have been there, where you just are really, really, really hurting, and there's no mind. You're not doing anything. You're out of it. Your mind is out of it because it's just hurting. And in that place, the emotional body can take over, and it's like, oh, okay, it feels really good to get down in a fetal position right now, face down, and just be there. Just as soon as I get there, I can feel almost an immediate relief. You know, I can feel better, you know, just from being there if I'm really, really just extremely wrought and scared. We could take it for this. Right now, this is a perfect opportunity with the coronavirus and the fear and the anxiety, and people having to be indoor, you know, in their own home. This practice doesn't require anybody. In fact, it is really better in the privacy of your own home, in your bedroom. Or at least that's what I do. I get on the bed, get comfortable, private. It's a very private, you know, it's just you with you. Because ultimately, you're the one. You're the only one that can really, really address this. No one else really knows what you're feeling but you. So you go there in your own sacred space, private space, and you be honest with yourself. And you do these couple of things that we're going to demonstrate. We're going to show you this. And again, we're going to try to do everything to impart what you need to be able to make it your own if you so choose, if you want to try it. Okay. So you want to do the video? Okay. So don't be uncomfortable in looking at this video. Yeah, it's someone, you know, you could be a little uncomfortable in looking at that, but don't be. It's fine. I've been with this practice for a couple of years now, and I've been in a lot worse shape than that. And this practice will take you right on the other side of that, and later on in the afternoon, you'll be good to go. I mean, it's just that quick. It really, really is. But what I wanted, part of the reason I wanted to play that video is just say, you see the state that that woman is depicting. She's not in her head, you know. If she is, she's doing a good job of acting. But whenever you're really there, we want to emulate no head. This is a no head zone. This is just feel. Feel. Just feel it. In your heart, in your body, just feel it. Don't try to direct it with your mind. Okay? So, with that said, unless you, shall I? Okay, let's just go right into a demonstration here. This is also known as the child pose, but it really doesn't have anything to do with yoga. It's just something, again, that the body wants to do whenever it's in extreme duress. And so we go there first. That's the first step. Okay, and along with that, for people that are not able to get in this physical position, there's other things we can do. We probably won't be able to discuss them on this video, but there's other avenues. This is what I've been doing, so it's what I'm going to demonstrate. You know, but I think there's quite a few people that can just go into the fetal position face down and it'd be okay. You know, so let me say this. We want to, in order to emulate this and not have the mind involved, we want to put these movements and this position into muscle memory. So we're not even thinking about doing it. You know, we have our attention completely off of the fact that we're in this position. We put all of our attention on our heartache, our pain, our truth, our whatever it is that's going on inside. That's where your attention is. Just like, say, that woman right there, you know, she was just, all that she was looking at was just the feelings, just the feelings. We don't want to have the mind. So be in the position. Try to get it make yourself comfortable, comfortable as possible. This is, you want to be able to forget that you're in this place. And if it's possible, how do we incorporate the hand movement video?
When you're ready, I can play it.
Okay. Tell you what, let's go ahead and play that video if you would, the hand movement. The hand movement is going to come after this, but I'm going to ask if you would to take a look at the video with the hand movement, and as I'm demonstrating this fetal position face down, if you would just observe and be moving your hands in the same way, just to get the muscle memory, just to feel it, feel that, just feel how it feels to make that motion with your hands. Okay. We want this in muscle memory. We don't want the mind to be directing us to do it. We want it to just sort of happen. And yeah, it probably is going to take more than these few minutes on a video for you to get it muscle memory. Probably have to practice a little bit more, but you get the idea. You get the idea. So we have that plan, okay. And whenever you are ready, I'll go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the good part. So right here for me, this is the good part. You just sit here and just be with I'll say something real for me. Something real for me is that I'm a highly sensitive person, and going out in this atmosphere, with the masks on and the social distancing and all this stuff, I feel people, and I try to turn it off. But it's difficult. It's like, it's misery, so that would be something that I would, I kind of refer to as take it to the altar, take it to the altar. Just go ahead and say, be honest with myself, and feel that, and go down into this physical position. Now, once you're in this position, you don't dictate what the body wants to do. You allow your emotional body, you feel it. Feel it. And whatever the body or whatever the emotional body wants your body to do, you do that. You allow it. You don't dictate. Anything is okay. You're in your own space. You have your privacy. It's just you and you. Okay? And you tell yourself the truth. This is what I'm afraid of. This is what's going on. This is what I shouldn't tell anybody. This is what I shouldn't even be thinking, but I am. You can say all of those things. Just let them go right here. Right here in this space. Just allow it. Just be here. Be here as long as you feel like you need to. I've done these, it can be for 10 minutes, it can be for any period of time. Again, it's more important not to have your mind involved. Just go with what you feel. What do you feel? Okay, if you feel like you're done, you're done. And be comfortable. And stay with the feeling. Stay with the feeling. Like for me, I can, the feeling of, is this a nightmare or what? Good Lord, I feel like I've gone into a horror movie. Everybody. It's the whole planet. Pretty, and
You don't know how long it's going to last. When's it ever going to stop? Are we ever going to be back to normal? All this stuff, just let it out. Just let it out. But do it only while you're in this position. You know, it's not the same if you're in an upright or sitting or, you know, any other position. Do it in this position. Okay? And if you feel like you need to stretch or do anything to make yourself comfortable, if your legs are going to sleep, of course, you know, that's first priority. You make yourself comfortable. But then beyond that, you just feel it. Just feel it. And then, at some point, again, whenever it's right for you, this hand movement that you've been looking at is another thing that if you want to get your head into it, you can Google wrenching hands, and you can see some videos, none of which I liked, so we made our own. But just this movement, and just feel your hands. Feel your hands and feel that fear. Feel what you were feeling before. Just feel your hands and feel that, what you were feeling. Now, I have to admit that this is not, my head's in this. And I'd really, unfortunately it has to be because I've got a microphone on my head and I've got a video camera in front of me and I'm trying to do something here. So I am in my head, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be. So just go to that place where it's just pure honesty, pure you, and pure feeling, and the fear or whatever it is. This will apply to anything that's hurting you, if you'll go there. The time that it doesn't work is if you go here with an intention of relieving your pain. You just allowed the mind to come in. You can't do that. This is a no mind zone. It's just a free floating. The mind is not here. No. You can't have an intention. You can't try to fix it. You can't say enough is enough. The mind is out. Okay, this is just pure feeling. And you and this physical position and this physical movement, that's it. So if you try to dictate it with your mind, or you allow your mind to creep in there, it's pretty good. Compared to what I've experienced over the 2 years of this and how effective it is, if I were to do that, it would be like a waste of time, comparatively speaking. Now, someone just starting out, at least you get some muscle memory. You go through the position, and you can sort of begin to feel that. I've been doing this so long that just feels normal. It just feels natural. And I, try and remember back when it didn't. I know there was a time, when it didn't feel particularly normal at all. So it takes a while. It takes a while to get used to that. And I really hope you can feel the potential, if you can feel the relief. Some of the cues that might tell you you're on the right track
if you've done this, and then after you're complete and your hands are done, and you're like, well, then go ahead and stand up and do whatever. And if there's a thought that comes, which I've had this a number of times, that says, I didn't do anything, that's perfect. That's really perfect. Because the I is your mind. The I is our mind. We are so accustomed to living with those thousands of thoughts in our head going on that we've identified to a great extent with our mind. So if I say I didn't do anything, well, good. Yeah, you're right. You didn't do anything. The mind didn't do anything. The mind doesn't do this. The mind doesn't fix it. The mind has proven to me long ago that if it had a light switch that it could turn on and off for the emotional body, it would have done it a long time ago. It doesn't have the power to do that. So this is for our soul, not to satisfy our mind. This is for our heart. This is for our soul, to take the pain out of us, out of this body, out of this heart, and make being in our body a more pleasant place to be, and then thus allowing movement into ascended masters, calling upon Mother Mary, doing whatever. Everything is enhanced if some of that locked up pain that we're feeling is able to just disengage. And that's available. That's available through this practice. Okay.
Dan, I just want to say for the people online, if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat section, and I will read them to Dan. And I want to point out one other thing here is something that works. It requires no belief, no religion. It transcends that. It is a wonderful vehicle for people who have, there are those people who believe in absolutely nothing, and they could never do anything. But the child's pose, along with this gentle hand movement, is such a comforting, releasing practice.
Well, since we don't have Carlos here, and we were going to work with him, but I'll just, my own personal experience, just briefly, in why I've, in the last few months especially, have become extremely committed to this practice. I trust it based on my experience. So the fact that I'm here in this room with Dennis, speaking and making a YouTube video and trying to convey this practice, is a testament to the practice itself. For me, the end of January, around the 22nd of January, I had a great loss, a great love loss. And I went into grief like I've never known before. So I was in this grief, and I was definitely in this practice, boy, just bawling. And went through that, and then some stuff along with that, with darkness and more stuff. I mean, it's just an enormous amount that, had I not had this practice, would have just, it would have been bad, really bad. It was bad enough, but it would have been far worse without that. And then to have, okay, so got the grief, got the interaction with darkness, which I didn't want, and then out of nowhere, this coronavirus pops up. Now, like, oh, great. great. I'm sorry. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. Just happened to be bad timing, for me. So, but with this practice, it doesn't matter what they throw at you or what they throw at you. I don't know what that means. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter. You can take it all as long as you make sure the mind is out of it. Just surrender. I surrender. I surrender means I surrender my mind. Go in here, feel. Just feel it. Just double over and feel it. Let your body do whatever it needs to do or feel like doing. Wrap it up whenever you're done and see how you feel. See how you feel. I don't want to, your experience will be your experience. And if this practice has the value that I have gotten from it and believe it has, and the dentist believes it has, I have faith that you will benefit from it as well. At least I pray so. Okay.
So just to summarize again, that what it is you get in the child's pose. You can be on your bed. You can be someplace comfortable. You can be, and that is, it's like you're communicating with God. And in the child's pose, in that position is a place where you can just let it out. And it seems to release the tension, the anxiety, the fear, the grief, anything. You give it, you surrender it, you let go. And then to wrap it up is this gentle hand movement, which kind of seals the prayer, seals the session in a way. Is that right, Dan? Is that how you see how does that fit in?
To be really honest, I try not to analyze it. I try not to let my head go that far. I don't want my head to go that far, because then it's going to feel like it has a right to be involved in the process. And I don't want it in the process. I've already had the benefit of, it feels weird to have something good happen for you and you didn't make it happen. Your mind didn't make it happen. And with this, your mind doesn't make it happen. There's so much out there already that is all wrapped around, if you do this, if you do that, if you do this, if you do that, it's all in your head. And yeah, there's a lot, and some of it's good. Some of it works. This is what separates this. This is, it has profound results really fast. And you don't need anybody else around to do it. And it's everything that you need is in your body. It's in your body. The only, I might say, the fetal position is kind of like creating a separation between yourself and the pain that you're having. The hand movement is ultimately produces a disengagement between what's troubling you and you, your soul, your heart, your energy. It disconnects, kind of like turns off a light switch or something. I don't know. It probably I don't know. But tell you what, if you guys look at the video and if you have any questions, you can type them in at some point, whenever, and we'll try to address them next time. When we're talking about this, Dennis said something about next week. I don't know. Whenever we come again, we'll try to address any questions you have. Right now, try to focus on just having the experience for yourself. And if there's any holes in the delivery that I've given, forgive me. Do the best I can. I'm just, it's my first time to make a YouTube video. I don't know. Okay. Hopefully we can achieve what I would hope for from this is individuals finding relief of suffering, especially in this time of the coronavirus. With all the stuff, I would hope that it would bring some relief from the stress and from the anxiety. And then beyond that, I would love it if some people really, really got the practice and embraced it and adopted it and made it like part of them. So, and that they could then go out and share it with other people as well. This really, for me, it needs to be shared. It really, it's something we've had with us all the time, and we haven't really been utilizing it, to my knowledge anyway. I don't know of anyone that's doing this particular combination of stuff. Kind of like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and she had the shoes on the whole time, and she just never clicked them right. Bad joke. Whatever. Okay.
Well, I want to say hello to everybody on Facebook. We got one comment, thank you, and another one was interesting. And I could say from my own experience, it's very joyful to just sit there and just be with God, just be with the source, just let everything out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a relief, and it's also a place of inspiration. Do you find that too, Dan? Do you get inspiration? Do you get do you kind of feel clear afterwards?
I feel relieved. I feel definitely relieved. I'm not in the same place as you are, Dennis. I wish I was in the level of lightness that you have. You know, I mean, you've had a different journey altogether, you know, from what I've had. Just the truth. So this last year and this last few months especially, it's just been jam-packed with suffering, you know, emotional suffering, from grieving, from mostly wrapped around love and the loss of love. So I can't really, there's what I'm thankful for from my level is just being able to be functional and well and be able to smile again. You know, just be able to smile and be somewhat light. I am inspiration. Yes. Okay. I am in my own self, in my practice of this, besides addressing all the pain. But it's, for me, I'm practicing it where I'm addressing my childhood and I'm opening up a door that is very inspirational to me, because I can feel what's on the other side of the door is to be able to really create my own reality. If we need to be able to have this not in us, and then it creates a space and openness where we can begin to really give life to what we want to give life to. And I'm not there yet, but it's on the horizon. I can see it. I can see it being available. And that's inspirational. that's very inspirational for me. Yeah.
And the fact that this will bring comfort to everybody who practices, without a doubt. You don't have to believe in anything. It's just built in us, like you say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to read a couple of posts here. Matthew said, thanks. I really resonate with that. I was gifted with something similar when one of my parents made their transition. Well, thank you for sharing, Matthew. And Evelina, sorry if I mispronounced your name. It will be shared. It felt like a transmission, she said, the way you shared. So beautiful. And she said, thank you.
Wow.
Well, God bless you both. Try it. I love it. And I think you will too. And next week, Dan, are you available to come and give?
I am 100% committed to this. I don't know exactly what the drive is, but I need this to be delivered. I will do whatever it takes to accomplish that. So yes, count me in.
So I'm going to give everybody on the broadcast a homework assignment. Try it in the morning or at night. Whenever you feel inspired. In the morning seems to be really good for me. And just for a few minutes. It's very comfortable. If you're not able to get into the child's pose, you have, Dan, do you have any recommendations?
We have, there are some things that we can do. Probably better to, if you would let us know on the chat, I guess, or something, if there's people out there that really need alternatives. Yeah. It would be best if we could communicate that with images rather than trying to describe it. Words don't quite do it. So we could come next week with images of this is what you can do. You can do a little this, a little that. Just to stretch it out and essentially be able to get there. We'll do our very best to accommodate that.
Yeah, you can use pillows or whatever you need. And then with the hands,
that should be pretty much available to everyone, right?
It's just try the sensation and the peace that comes with that simple movement. Very calming, very clearing, very, like Patty said, very interesting. So I want to thank everybody on the broadcast for joining us tonight. Tomorrow I'll be doing the Mother Mary Rosary and the Divine Mother Worship Service. Please join me if you can. Stay safe, keep your social distance, and obey the law. Protect yourself, be careful. Know that you are being watched over by the Divine Mother. And I'm sure you can all feel that there is this power of goodness and love that watches over all of us. And it's beautiful. No matter what happens in this planet, on this crazy planet, there is this power. So good night and God bless you.